Alrighty, so we're over here on more Warframe, and this is more of my suffering. So I have been on the LR grind. I've been trying to get everything in the game, and currently I'm at MR29, a little over a third of the way there to MR30. And if I just like scroll through here while talking, you guys can see how much progress I've made and how much I have left to do. Really, a lot of it is just invasions and the Tenet, Kuva, and Koda weapons I need to get still. I've pretty much gotten almost every prime frame, I believe, and I've gotten every single non-prime frame, so I'm doing pretty well, I think. And like once I get the invasions out of the way, as well as there's a term for them, the Tenet, Kuva, and Koda weapons. What are they? What's the term again? I forget. Is it just in game? Adversaries. That's right. Once I get all of those done, I feel like I'll be, I don't know, LR3 maybe? Just have to find out when it's all done. But with how far I am in the mastery rank grind, it's no secret that I pretty much have dealt with a ton of grinding. And there is a grind that has so far eluded me, and I've just not, the game screwing me over, basically. You'll notice right here that I already have the Bratton Vandal, but if I scroll through my secondaries, you will notice that there is a Vandal that is missing. And looking at my foundry, typing it in, there it is. I am still missing the Lato Vandal barrel, and so I'm going to do a run of Elite Sanctuary Onslaught while just talking about this. I don't know how many times I've had a chance at the Lato Vandal barrel, but this is seriously just, the game hates me. And also this is a seriously boring grind. It's not like it's all that difficult, because you just go into here with a nuker like Mirage or Saren. I've even done it with Korra before, because I kind of want to switch it up every now and then. I don't want to only run Mirage or Saren, but you just go in here with a nuker frame, someone that's got a high KPM, and then you just go through each wave until you reach Zone 8 and complete Zone 8, and then you'll have a chance for the Lato Vandal barrel. The problem is that's like 20 minutes of gameplay, and on top of that, the Lato Vandal barrel is a 2.01% chance to drop. So we're spending 20 minutes a run for a 2.01% chance to drop. The Bratton Vandal actually has two parts at Zone 8 to get, and they're both 2.01% chance as well, but the game has already given me those. I just really need that Lato Vandal barrel. Now, why do I want the Lato Vandal so bad? Well, it's because it has an Incarnon, and I don't really want to slap the Incarnon on just the regular Lato. In terms of performance difference, I don't think it's actually that different, because the Lato Incarnon gets bigger stat increases to make up for its lower base stats. And there is a Lato Prime, but it's part of the Founders Pack, I believe, and it actually has the best stats, like even better than Lato Vandal. Now for Bratton, yes, there's a Bratton Vandal, but there's also a Bratton Prime, and really the Bratton Prime is probably better than the Bratton Vandal. So I already have a Bratton Prime Incarnon slapped on, and if you've played the game for more than like 2 hours, you've probably gotten a Bratton Prime set already. If you're like MR10, at least right now, you've probably gotten at least 50 sets of them. So really getting Bratton Vandal is just not as exciting. And it's kind of funny because it is technically more rare, since you have two parts that are really rare to have to get, whereas Lato Vandal, you only have one to get. That's really rare. But really the worst feeling about this grind for the Lato Vandal is just that it's 20 minutes of basically not making any progress towards it. At least with some of the other grinds, like you've got War, you've got the Citrine farm, you've got the original Necromech farm. Honestly, I'll say that these Purita Rebellion, if you want to get every Tauren strike, that is quite a grind. But the thing is, with all those grinds, you are at least making some sort of progress the entire time. You know, if you spend 2 or 3 hours, you'll have a pretty good progress made. Whereas for this Lato Vandal or Bratton Vandal, just depending on which one you get more unlucky with, you can spend hours and just not make any progress. Gosh, I hate these freeze pads around the area. These patches of ice that just keep slowing me down. So it's not like this grind is hard, it's really boring. And I think another thing is that you're pretty much having to do this solo, because not very many other people are wanting to go to Zone 8, as you're pretty much done with leveling by like round 4. If you have an Infinity booster, you could be done before round 3. I know I keep saying rounds when they're technically zones, but you get what I mean. Now, you do get at least some stuff when making through each zone. I mean, it's every 2 zones that you get a reward, but you'll at least get some Radiant Relics or the occasional Endo, even though the Endo that you get is seriously low. I think it's like a few hundred, if even, which is not that much. I wish they would buff that to be, I don't know, at least 1,000, but oh well. Now, you could be leveling frames or weapons while in the process of this. Problem is that frames, well, I should really just say weapons, because you can't level frames in ASO unless you're mastery rank 30 or higher and have already 4-mode a frame. But then the difficulty comes in is that you don't really have a nuking frame, most likely, so you're likely not going to make it to Zone 8 anyway. Another thing that's pretty rough about this grind is just that there's no way to speed it up. You're always having to spend at least 20 minutes to make it to zone 8. With the other grinds, maybe you get lucky, maybe you're just being more efficient. Like, I know people have had some pretty unlucky time with getting war. I've gotten about 3 or 4 of them so far in my time of playing. But the thing is that it's at least like a passive thing. It kind of just happens in the background. You know, you can be working on other stuff and maybe get a chance at the war. With the OG Necromech, at least you were getting some other materials while farming for it. And even though it was absolutely boring and not fun, at least you're making progress the entire time and getting some other stuff. And it's a tree farm, again, you're making progress the entire time. And really for that, you can make it a little bit more efficient by just like running Titania, especially to just pick up all the crystals. You can play in a squad pretty easily. Anyone else that's there in public matches is also trying to farm Citrine, so they're more likely to go a couple rounds at least. And the other thing is that the arcanes that are there that you can get from the crystals from, is it Lloyd or Otak? I think it's Otak. Those arcanes have become available in other places now. I think that you can even just purchase them with Phosphor. Now you could technically skip this grind for the Lato Vandal or Bratton Vandal by just trading for it. Thing is, that is quite a bit of platinum. I ain't the richest person. And also it's just, this is a battle between me and the game at this point. This is war. So really I've just been doing this like a few times per day, you know, 2 or 3 runs. And if I'm leveling weapons, then I'll try to just stick it out to round 8. Sometimes when I'm in public matches, other people will come to round 8. Most of the time, not quite. I feel like the worst thing when playing public matches is just not being the host, because then someone leaves and that migrates host, and that takes, you know, some time, and that's the last thing I need happen. I guess in other news, it is now 2026, so happy new year. In terms of what I plan to do for 2026, well, it is a pretty big year for me because I graduated from college in last month, so now I'm gonna have to find a job. No idea how that's gonna work out, especially since I'm in computer science. I've been working on a resume. There's not exactly much that I can add to that resume with no experience, but I really do feel screwed. Before I'm even like trying to get a job, I already feel screwed. But oh well, gotta try it. Like, ideally, yes, I would like to do YouTube for a living. I think that would be nice and fun. Do I expect that to happen? No. So the plans are to try to get a job this year and also upload a bit more consistently, because I started uploading in 2024 for about a month or 2, and then I stopped for almost about a year, and then I came back in 2025 in the spring, uploaded for another month or 2, and then I came back to upload in October, I think it was, and then I've been uploading since then. I started off with daily uploading. I have not been daily uploading so much for the past few weeks, because I pretty much talk about it every video with just the YouTube algorithm being a mystery. My videos really do seem to do better when I just don't daily upload. And while I don't care about the numbers to an extreme degree, I at least do care about them some. You know, I do want to grow a community, right? So really plan is to upload, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a week. Just see how things go. And I do have variety content planned. I don't really want to dedicate my channel to just one game. I know I've been uploading Warframe videos the past, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 now? Maybe 5. Reason why I keep doing that is because you guys keep enjoying them. But I still do have other variety content planned. Zone 6, getting there to a chance that is probably not gonna happen. I think I only have like 1 more Warframe video planned after this. Well, there's another one. I would like to do a video on whenever the Warframe 2025 stats heat map comes out, and also the year in review. I think that would be fun to look at and try to analyze a bit. I decided to put an Orkan Catalyst and forma up a bit the Exceltra Prime. While it's not the greatest weapon, it is fun on Mirage at least, because you just spew out a ton of bullets. I really do hope DE like buffs some weapons. I don't know exactly which ones, but it almost feels bad using a non-incarnate weapon. Well, it doesn't feel like there's that many non-incarnate weapons that are good. For the most part, it would be some of the Tenet weapons, some of the adversary weapons. But when it comes to just regular prime weapons, they're typically pretty hit or miss. I guess I need to press my 2 again. I am letting efficiency drop a little bit too low. This is not the greatest map right here. Ideally, you need more condensed zones so you can basically just spawn trap enemies. I just need to spam my 2 a bit more. I'm having too fun just jumping around with Exceltra. In terms of what I've been farming on this game, well, some Lato Vandal here and there. I'm still doing some Burrito Rebellion runs. I have just not been focusing on them too much, because while the mode is pretty fun, it is also pretty easy to get burnt out on, I feel. You know, I can do a few runs and have some fun, but after that, it's like, okay, I had time for a little bit of something else. I feel like Descendia just the more fun mode, and also just more replayable, which is funny because it's more rewarding and you're also pretty much done with the grind on it sooner. And it's also structured like it should be a weekly mode. It's really weird. You would think Descendia would be the longer term grind, while Pareto Rebellion is the shorter term one. And even though I only have one Tauren Strike so far, I gotta say, they seem to just be very underwhelming. I think all a DE really has to do is probably just up their charge rate a fair bit. Like their damage seems fine, their utility seems fine. You just up that charge rate a little bit and then we're talking a bit more. More exciting, well, maybe exciting, depends on who you ask, but I should say the more important part about getting the Tauren Strike is really just so that you can actually mod your operator. I have not messed with it too much. I really need to grind some more endo, to be honest. My endo wallet is looking pretty dry right now. Just one more zone, and then I can't wait for it to be a relic, or watch it be a Brat and Vandal part. That would actually just kill me at that point. It would be time to question everything. Also, I really need to grind more Samara's Standing so that I can get the green screen room for the Captura, because that would actually help out a lot with editing thumbnails. That last thumbnail I made, the one with Korra and Volt running side by side at the beach, and it's supposed to be a reference to the Captain America on your left. I had to just manually cut out Korra and Volt for those. Now Volt, he was not too bad to cut out. He's a lot more simple edges, less things just poking out. You know, it's like cutting out a box. It's like cutting out a square versus cutting out, I don't know, a pterodactyl or something. I don't know what sort of comparison that is, but basically one is a really simple shape. The other is not so simple. Korra took a lot of effort and time to cut out. He just has a lot more details going on. 15 more seconds. What will it be? Man, I'm going to feel so free whenever I do finally get this Lato Vandal and XE Relic. Okay. Like, I know there's still some like grinds I'm not exactly looking forward to, like the K-Drive grind. I'm also gonna have to get all of the companions. I think I've gotten all the Sentinels except for one. I have Dirica already in the boundary crafted. I just need to actually pick them up. If you want to get technical, you could say that just 100%ing the game is the worst grind. So if you're curious about the Mirage Prime build I use right there, it's just this. Main thing is Explosive Ledgerman with a lot of range and some strength. Molt Augmented and Arcane Impetus take care of that. Archon Continuity works on the two, so does Archon Stretch. And then the other thing is that Foggy, my companion, when he uses, what ability is it? Yes, Synergize Prospectus. That's counted as an ability. And so then he'll proc all of these status effects, which gets Arcane Impetus up to like times 12 or times 13. And that's like plus 72% ability strength and plus 36 ability efficiency, and it is refreshable on just applying a status effect with an ability. So now I guess I'll use Saren some for this next run. For my Saren, I basically just run with this, and that takes care of it no problem. And then can run dual Ikor with it, and then also got a nuking Kova Sobek. So let's do one more run and totally get it. I typically do this in a public match because you can sorta skip sometime. Maybe you'll join in zone 2, and that saves, you know, about 2.5 minutes. It's nice to mess around with different frames. There's just not too many frames that can efficiently do Onslaught solo, that is. It's funny, I used to really just like main Mesa, and that was about it. I think I had her at like 50 to 60% playtime. Now she's all the way down to 30%, and she might keep on falling, because ever since I actually got some more frames, I've been enjoying a lot more frames. I think I had Mesa Prime as like my 3rd frame, because I started with Volt, and I got Gara, because I really just wanted another frame to play. Then I got Mesa Prime, and Mesa was pretty much my crutch for most of my early game, because I did not have any good weapons at all. I didn't even know what was a good weapon, and I did not want to risk any Orokin Catalyst or Forma, because those are pretty valuable and still are to me. And this was before Incarnins were a thing. I think this was, oh gosh, like 2018 maybe, or 2019. I've even been 2017. I know that I started playing in 2017. I gotta say, the game was way different back then. That was the time before Railjack, before Steel Path, before Deviri, before the New War, before Elite Archimedia, before Archon Shards, before Galvanized mods, before Helmet. Being honest, Warframe didn't really get good until it was like sometime between the New War release and Deviri release, I feel like. Just somewhere in that time frame. It might have been with the New War that it finally got good. Not saying that like Warframe was a bad game before. Like, it was still fun to play, but it just really felt kind of empty. Like, people talk about there not being much of an end game now. Well, back then there really was not. You didn't even have an operator at the time. Like, I really did not even get all that hooked at the game at that time. I would basically just play for a little bit, have some fun, and then stop for however long. It was something that you could only play for like a few hours at a time. I remember all I would really do is just open up relics, because that's kind of all there really was to do. You finish the quest up until what, like I think the second dream or something, and then you would just get frames, get weapons, and that was about it. It's really crazy how much Warframe changed in the past 5 years, I'd say. Really, I've made a lot of progress this year, because before I didn't really care much about mastery rank. In fact, I thought playing solo was actually kind of boring, but I kind of got back into this game this year, played a lot more, found some more enjoyment with just how much they added. There's actually a reason to log on weekly, which is very nice to have. I think I was MR 17 at the start of this year, or well, technically last year now. I gotta keep that in mind. We'll be able to see my Warframe here in review whenever that comes out. But I used to be a Mesa main, and while I still am, there's actually a bunch more frames I've gotten since the start of 2025 that I've really just enjoyed. And those frames would probably be Mesa, Saren, Protea, Cora, Valkyr, Wisp, and Garuda. I think that's it. I mean, I enjoy Mirage. I have a load of her. There are still just some frames that I wish were better. Like Ember, yeah, her heirloom is of course hot, but man, she's not that great. She's not awful, she's not bad by any means. You can definitely still run her and steal past content. It's just that she's pretty underwhelming to use, I think is the best way to put it. I always think of her as just being unprivileged. Damage reduction has to build up, and when it actually does build up, it drains a ton of energy that just keeps escalating instead of just being like a flat cooldown like Mirage's Eclipse or Mesa's Shatter Shield. Her 3 does not go through walls, it does not even go through soft walls. Cora's Whip goes through walls softly, and pretty much what that means is just that it will go through thin walls. But Ember, nah, she didn't get that. And then her 4, it really does just do weak damage. You have to like really build into it if you want it to do any sort of considerable damage. And then her Fireball is, it's a joke. Fireball Frenzy is good, but man, she could use some buffs. Really, quite a few frames could. Like I know Equinox could use some buffs. Loki, Limbo, who else? Vauban probably. Ivara could probably still use some buffs as well. I don't have a Warframe tier list by any means, because if I do a Warframe tier list, I would want to actually have good knowledge and testing of every character, of every frame, I should say. Really, it's like a lot of the frames that are in the lower tiers probably are older frames. DE really has gotten better at releasing frames that are actually good in recent years. 2025 alone, I think Site 09 came out in late 2024. I could be wrong there. Just starting with him, Site 09, he's pretty good, really fun to use. And then you've got Temple that came out, and Temple is really probably the worst one of the year, but still is alright, maybe B tier. I think the kit is just kind of bland per se. There's not too much going on with it. You're mostly just using Lizzie and spamming pyrotechnics. The kit is just nothing that crazy, but it's not bad by any means. And then you had Noko, who's really good. Also gave a good subsume, which is nice. And then last week we have Uriel, who's also been pretty good. Of the year, I would probably say Temple is the weakest one. Oh, there's also Araxia. Completely forgot about her. I think she has a similar problem to Caliban with her summons, her little scuttlers just not scaling well, but you can use a non-scuttler build and she'll still be pretty good. And her scuttlers are of course good in most content, just not higher level stuff. Really make her scuttlers and Caliban's summons scale, then we'll be talking a bit more. I think of the old frames that have aged pretty well, I'd probably say that's like Mirage and Saren. They've been really good for years, pretty much like ever since their release. And probably Octavia too. Wisp is also kind of an older one, which is funny to think about because I was playing before Wisp came out, and she came out in what, 2018 I think, or 2019 maybe at the latest. It's wild because when I think about it, doesn't feel that long ago, but no, that's like 6 or 7 years ago, or 8 years ago. And yes, I just did the funny number, whatever. I think in terms of 2026, what I'd like to see for Warframe, probably just more end game-y stuff and like just kind of weekly content. Like yeah, maybe there could be a point of just being too much, but just more stuff for the in-game players to actually play through would be nice. And then I would like to see more Incarnants come out as well. People have mentioned a Tigress Incarnate, and I think that would be really cool. I don't think we have a Sniper Incarnate yet either. That would be interesting. There's also not a Spear Gun Incarnate. I guess they could technically do an Arc Gun Incarnate. I don't know how exciting that would be, but I wouldn't be against it. I would also like to see them revisit some older content that has not been touched up in a long while and like kind of just refresh refresh it or update it, just add something to it. Like for example, kit guns. Those really have not been messed with in a long while. I think it would also be nice if there could be something else to do with ribbon slivers, because I am stockpiled on those, and all you can do is take them to Paladino, I think her name is, and you spend what, like 40 a week if even. And then while some people would probably be upset with it, just, well, maybe not even upset with it, just something with ribbons, I don't know, updating them to maybe make them more interesting or better, maybe make them not so much of a, you know, whatever thing. The reason why I at first said that it might upset some people is because I know some people really like to sell them for gobs of plat, you know, selling ribbons for like 2,000 plat and whatnot. I remember when Glaive Prime itself was selling for like 500 plat or more, and ribbons for it would go for a few thousand. That was crazy. If you just simply want my advice on what to sell for plat, just do prime sets, really. Is not too bad, especially if you got a lot with it. A fever pitch. I don't know what that is. Man, actually hearing game audio, I'm just not used to this. This game is so chill that you like really, I just watch videos on a second monitor while playing. It's crazy how good Kuva Sobek is on Saren. Well, I guess I never showed my Archon shards on Saren. I guess I can show that after this. We're almost done. Zone 7. Yeah, getting there. Oh, and I guess another thing that I would like to see for 2026 is still the continuation of heirlooms. It would be nice if they could do an heirloom a month. I don't know if that does sound like a lot of work. With the current cadence, I don't know if every frame's going to get their heirloom, because I would love to see a Mesa heirloom. You know, she still is my favorite frame. A Wisp heirloom would probably kill people. I have a friend that really loves to play Korra, so I'm curious what the heirloom for Korra would be. Just so much to wonder about what heirlooms for certain frames would look like. Also, my prediction for the 2025 most played frame is probably going to be Dante. In 2024, it was Revenant, and really I think Dante is kind of just the better Revenant, because not only does Dante give crazy support, he also just has good abilities in general. Whereas Revenant, he gives crazy survivability with the Mesmer Shield. That's kind of about it. You know, you can do the Dance Revolution, put Bright Bonnet on it as well, and just bounce on the Bright Bonnet mushroom while doing Dance. It really is crazy how powerful Overguard is. It provides another gate. It provides status immunity. Really, status immunity alone is what makes it so strong, I think. Kuva Sobek is just so funny. You just shoot, you kill one guy and then 30 more die. And it goes through walls, because why not? Ember can't go through walls, but Kuva Sobek can. Oh, efficiency stimulus. I have not grabbed those at all throughout any of these runs, because you just don't need it. Saren and Mirage just take care of everything. And another Radiant Relic. Yep, thank you, game. Exactly what I wanted. I seriously got 39,000 kills. And these are the Archon shards that I run on my Saren. Well, that's going to be this video for now. I'll try to upload a bit more consistently, and we'll see if I get this Lato Vandal barrel anytime soon. And when I do, if I do, I'll let you all know. See ya in the next video.